Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for those who have been following me, I want to thank you. And I got to talk about Oakland, California. I have a fraternity brother that lives in the Bay Area. And sometimes I like to choose commentary and videos and subject matters that I have some kind of relationship or have been there before. And Oakland, the state of California, with these liberal laws that Governor Gavin Newsom has passed, is destroying and decimating California 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. LA County, with its homelessness, opioid crisis situation, mental health issues, has just been destroyed. They have a cashless bail system in LA County where if you commit a minor crime, you won't get arrested or jailed, and you can come back to court within 30 days to see what your outcome would be. Well, there will be a tremendous high no-show to court, because if you have the mindset of committing a crime, what makes you think that that person is going to voluntarily go to court to see if they're going to jail or not, or get put on probation? The state of Illinois the entire state of Illinois started a cashless bail system also, where even it has gotten so bad that a guy in a small town in Illinois killed his girlfriend, shot her 5 times in the back at his apartment complex, and he posted a bond, got his bond back, got out, got rearrested, and then he didn't have to have a bond. He had a cashless bond also for a murder case. A murder case. So he gets to come back under his own recognizance for shooting his girlfriend in the back 5 times. And his defense is that she was beating up on him. He pulls out a gun and shoots her. So these liberal laws that are being passed in Illinois and California, that are state laws, city ordinances, you're going to see that eventually they will become federal. And we're going to see this libertarian ease on criminal convictions is going to allow a lot of crimes to take place. And how one defines a minor crime from a major crime is full of hyperbole and philosophical commentary, which means who knows how do you define a minor crime from a major crime? So Oakland, the city of Oakland, decided to defund the police, and it has destroyed Oakland. And now many of your Fortune 500 companies are leaving, and some of your major stores and restaurants, such as Walgreens, Target. One of my favorite places that ranks above McDonald's, In-N-Out Burger, one of its most profitable stores in California, is leaving Oakland. Grocery stores are leaving Oakland. Closing out due to massive theft, looting, crime, robberies, and property damage. People are getting robbed while they're waiting in the In-N-Out Burger drive-thru. Store employees are getting robbed. There's tons of property damage that's taking place. And In-N-Out Burger said they have had enough. And the two things that can destroy a city, if you want to destroy a city, one is defund the police, and the other is to be light on crime policies. And Oakland, California, and San Francisco are doing a great job at both. San Francisco has been completely decimated. It looks like a third world country because of their libertarian laws. You can steal up to $950 a day and not worry about the security guard arresting you or restraining you for the police, and the police won't arrest you. So you can literally steal $900 a day and get away with it. So the only fool that is going into Walgreens and supporting it is the one that's willing to pay for their product. But that would make you a moral and ethical human being, which hopefully most of America is moral and ethical. But if you're unethical, you can go to the state of California, go to San Francisco, go to Oakland, shoplift up to $900 and get away with it each and every day, and then go sell those items on the street. It's ludicrous and crazy. Makes not an ounce of sense. And you wonder why these different pockets in Oakland, San Francisco, Sacramento, LA are just being destroyed. In 2018, Oakland had a low crime rate. And then once they decided to defund the police, they took $18 million from the police force and put it in violence prevention programs. So here in the Midwest, you have one that's called Cure Violence that's based out of Chicago that Dr. Gary Sluckin started back in the late 80s, early 90s. And there are a ton of people that are starting these not-for-profit violence prevention programs so they can snatch federal and state money and have them some kind of viable business. But crime has never decreased. Criminals are not afraid of the police, let alone violence prevention interrupters. So there's a game in that too. Should we have violence prevention programs? Absolutely, but they should be an ancillary, secondary, tertiary measure behind the police force. We need policing. I'm not for defunding the police. And Black Lives Matter tried to put a national stranglehold on defunding the police. And all those three young ladies that were the founders did was steal $100 million. And you don't hear anything else from Black Lives Matter. But the police forces in America, in each and every city, is still here. Police officers are not being paid enough. It is a very stressful job where they could lose their lives. We need to pay police officers, firefighters, teachers more money. Their salaries have not been an accurate aggregate to the cost of living increase for the last 25 years. And these people are putting their lives on the line each and every day. In the city of New York, 2,500 police officers left the force before retirement last year. People have had enough. It's not an appreciated profession. Nobody likes the police. And then if they try to do anything, then it becomes a legal issue and they could lose their job, go to jail, becomes a racial dynamic. If there's an interracial dynamic that takes place during a stop, and why would you want to be a cop? And there's no win-win. There's a lose-lose in it. So back to Oakland, they took $18 million from the police force and put it in this violence prevention program. 2 years later, criminal activity went back up to a record high for crimes in theft, armed robberies, carjackings, burglaries. Within 2 years, it went straight vertical through the roof. Oakland is in a state of emergency, like Chicago, New York, and LA County. There are poor urban schools, no jobs, too many illegal guns on the street. And now, as a result of wanting to defund the police, the citizens and the patronage of Oakland want to recall the mayor. They want the mayor gone. These liberal laws have allowed complete chaos in these cities. And you're going to see this liberation of these liberated laws swipe across this entire country. So if you live in Texas or some other place, don't blink your eye at it, because it'll start off on a state level and then eventually it'll be federal. And we have gone from, over the last 60 years, doing too much policing to now we're not going to do any at all. And this is going to cause complete disruption and chaos through all our urban cities throughout this country. You're going to have to fend for yourself, and especially with all the illegal guns that are on the street and the high volume of joblessness, people that are not properly trained and skilled for work, chasing the bag by any means necessary. This is turning America and certain pockets of America into a third world country. There's no accountability for the crimes, no risk of arrest or jail. Homelessness is through the roof. Back to the homelessness. In 2023, the Homelessness Assessment Report to Congress by HUD, Housing and Urban Development, California had, this is in 2023, 46 homeless people for every 10,000 individuals. Florida has 14 homeless people for every 10,000 individuals. And Texas has 9 people homeless per 10,000 people. And California homelessness has increased 30% since 2007. Florida homelessness has decreased 33% since 2007. So all of these liberal laws and going from super conservative to you can do anything now is just destroying each and every part of California. It's go out of the house at your own rate and at your own risk. And people are being fed up. People are leaving LA and leaving the state of California and going to Texas and these other states, Florida, like you can't believe it. And they want Gavin Newsom, the Democrats want Gavin Newsom to be the next Democratic president. Trust and believe me. Biden might not make it. Remember, your beautiful Vice President Kamala Harris, who I don't like at all, is from the state of California. She doesn't know her head from a hole in the ground. And I've never liked her. And nobody wants her to be the president. So the one that they're prepping is Gavin Newsom to be the Democratic candidate at some point. And he is destroying California. What do you think he would do to America? And I'm not Republican. I'm independent. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I try to pick the best person I think is fit for it. But Gavin Newsom is doing a horrible job with managing the state of California. If he was a CEO of a company, he would have been fired based on performance, statistical analysis, and the numbers. The numbers don't lie. We have the receipts, as Deion Primetime Sanders would say. Look at the receipts. California is being destroyed by these liberal laws. And it's going from San Francisco and now to Oakland is being completely decimated. And Walgreens, Target, your Fortune 500 companies, In-N-Out Burger can't wait to leave. The citizens of California, in the state of California, everybody worries about who their president and vice president should be. But you citizens in the state of California, you need to know what your local legislators are doing. Your city, state legislators, your aldermen, your city councilmen, your mayor, your governor, your city attorney, your state Supreme Court. Who are these people and what are they doing to legislate laws that have a 100% effect on your freedom? America is changing each and every day, and we are turning into a third world country. And I haven't even mentioned the migrant crisis that's taking place. There are going to be 1 million to 3 million people with no skill set, don't speak any English, and they're going to be a heavy burden on this brewing excess of ineptness that is taking place in these liberal laws throughout the state of California, Chicago, Illinois, and some of these other cities throughout this country. And mind you, there's a lady named Janet Mello who stole over $100 million from the U.S. government and military here recently in San Antonio. $100 million she stole over 7 years. Do you know, this is in Texas, that the judge let her out with no bond under her own recognizance to show up back in court? Another form of liberal laws in full effect. And I'm telling you, it started in Illinois, no cash bonds, LA County, and now you're seeing in Texas. They don't have it set up technically like that yet, but the judge just gave Janet Mello, who had a fake not-for-profit and stole over $100 million from the U.S. military and government, and the judge allowed her to get out under her own recognizance with no bond. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, we need to strengthen up and tighten up these laws throughout our country, in the state of Illinois, the state of California. There's too much looting, too much shoplifting, too many robberies, too much property damage, too much gun violence. We need to increase the funding of the police, not decrease. We need to increase the manpower for policing. We do not need to police ourselves. That will be a complete purging of our society. And then we have young people today that are living like they're the children of the corn, just doing whatever, whenever, and however. This is not helping the vibrancy of our country, morally or ethically. This has been a Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.